everyone. Welcome back. My name is Ron Keck, again, the owner of SubCat Studios in Syracuse, New York. Today we're going to talk about miking the guitar, or at least how I like to mic the guitar. It's not uncommon that your guitarists like to have a music stand in front of them. The dangers of a music stand is that you've got a flat surface here. With the microphone, if you're using a ribbon mic, such as our Royer 122, you're going to have a figure 8 pattern on this mic. And the problem with that is you're going to end up getting slap back from the music stand. So what's critical is you want to take that into account. So a lot of times, if I'm going to mic a guitar that's going to have a flat surface like a music stand like we have here, usually I will not use a mic that has the figure 8 pattern on it. So we're going to end up picking up a little bit of slap back, and in most cases you're actually going to get comb filtering from that surface. Okay, so a lot of times I won't use the ribbon mic in relation to a music stand. Okay, and in that case I may go to a dynamic mic, and what happens with a dynamic mic is you run the risk of getting a little bit of proximity effect. Okay, so you want to be careful how tight you get this mic to the guitar. A lot of times I'll have the guitar player play a little bit and I will actually listen for the concentrated sound. I will not put the mic way up on the concentrated sound. I'll pull it back a little bit so that we're not getting the proximity effect. Okay, so I'll have Steve play a little bit for me, and I'm going to actually just kind of move around and hear where the concentrated sound is. Okay, so go ahead and play a little bit for me. Okay, so a lot of times I'll just sit here and kind of move around a little bit. Okay, so right here is a very concentrated sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put this mic relatively close to where my hand is. And then what I would do is I'd go in the control room and I'd actually have him play it again. And if it sounds like it's real boomy because the mic being too close to that sound, then I'll actually start pulling that microphone away from the sound source. Okay, but this is a good starting point. All right, so now that's one source. What if we want to get a stereo source? A lot of times the guitars will come with direct feeds. So in that case, I'll run not only like a dynamic mic like a 57, but I'll also run the direct feed, and a lot of times I can pan those and create a little bit of an image out of the two. Let's talk about getting a natural sound of the acoustic guitar. So in this case here, what I'd like to do is we'll use a balloon pattern setup. Okay, basically what it's going to be is it's going to be two mics together in a figure 8 pattern. Okay, now some people like to put a cardioid pattern on the bottom and then a figure 8 up on the top. What I usually say is try different ways. Okay, nothing's right or wrong in this situation here, but in this case, I would probably set up a mic pattern here. But again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Steve play. I'm going to concentrate on how the sound is coming off his guitar before I place these mics. So why don't you go ahead and play again? So. Okay, so that sound is pretty concentrated here. Obviously, looking at the sound hole, one would say, okay, let's just put a pair of mics there. And you can do that, but again, you want to use your ears and listen to the concentrated sound. Okay, so now in a case like this, now I'm getting a little bit more of a natural sound. What's critical is how far these mics are from your sound source. And the reason being is the further back you go, the more of the room sound you're going to get. And this is where a pro studio comes into play. Especially in putting compression on these mics. As you put compression on these mics in a large space, you're going to start pulling in the room around you. Right? It's going to start pulling it into the mix. If you want to utilize some of the tools like a compressor, then obviously you're going to start bringing in the room sound itself, and it's got a good sound in the room, then it adds to your mix. Okay, so basically that's pretty much the setup I like to use. Sometimes I will experiment with using a dynamic mic and a ribbon mic on the guitar, and I see a lot of people do it this way. It stands a little short, but anyways, the bottom line is you can actually create a nice stereo image like this. And most people do this, but if you have the luxury of a nice sounding room, a Bloomian a setup like this will go a long ways for you. Okay, so that's basically how I like the mic guitar. And somewhere down the road here, we'll talk a little bit about EQing it and compressing it, and when would you want to use some EQ on the guitar, and when you would not want to use EQ on the guitar. Okay, that's it for today, and we'll pick up where we left off in a few more days.